Ladies and gents of the Reject Nation, it looks like we got ourselves a trailer for the latest joint of Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan. Great duo, one of the best of our cinematic times. John, are you excited?
I'm ready for an Oakland-based vampire movie.
All right. Leave a like on this video. Also, thanks to everyone who's been following us on our social media. I've been posting a lot of exclusive content over there. Hope you guys have been enjoying it. Let's watch this. Already striking.
Whoa, whoa. Oh, that's right. It's a period piece.
Take what you need to calm down, my friend.
Oh,
I've been all over this world.
yeah. Damn.
I've seen men die.
Oh!
It's like a southern,
ways I ain't even know was possible.
nice southern gothic horror.
Oh, yeah.
Lady, brother, be careful. I will.
Whoa.
Such a gritty look to it.
Yeah, man.
With all the things that I've seen,
So much atmosphere. Oh my god, they're using clipping. That's rad.
I never seen no demons,
Shout out David Diggs, Blood of the Fang.
no ghosts, no magic.
Terror.
Till now.
Oh.
To get back inside.
God, they got a stacked cast. Whoa.
Oh, you can tell some of their walks are a little off.
Some weird shit going on out here.
You keep dancing with the devil.
Flashes of horror imagery.
Oh, let's go.
One day he's gonna follow you home.
Damn.
That shot's a dope shot right
Tommy
there.
gun.
Sinners, the punishment. Shot with IMAX film cameras. That looks like a beautiful, beautiful film. Haunting as hell. I love that trailer.
yeah.
I heard something about vampires forever ago. Is this the vampire one?
I believe so. I believe this is it.
The latest thing I heard, like it was a while
This
ago.
is
is
I
that-
Am Legend 2.
Yeah, is that Ryan Coogler was working on a vampire movie with Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah,
That's what I heard forever ago. And it feels like there's a vampiric touch to it. There's like that feeling of like a little bit of lust, debauchery, and then
And of something
it comes at
lurking.
night kind of
Yeah,
vibes.
yeah. Something
Not
lurking.
the movie, it comes at night, but like when you got those people gathered around outside of the barn at night, it feels like this might actually be a contained time that it's taking place in.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, so many of the daylight shots are like more desolate. Like he's, you know, I'm sure the movie will be populated during the daytime, but what they're showing us here, him sitting, just kind of trying to roll the cigarette, sunlight's out, but there's like no one around, and you feel the emptiness of the space, or you're in like these cornfields and things like that. And then, yeah, finally you get to nightfall, and it's like everyone's together, everyone's, you know, in this barn, which I don't know if that's like a safety precaution or something. Like in terms of vampire tropes in general, yeah, this looks like a really unique but also very kind of, like you said, Southern Gothic take on that. And in addition, just knowing what vampire lore often lends itself to, and also this coming from like a black perspective, I can imagine they would come up with some pretty interesting twists on the lore as well. You know,
Yeah.
people who feed on others and who, you know, swipe and deal in immortality of kinds, but it's cursed immortality.
Get out for
You know.
vampires.
I mean, in some ways, I feel
Yeah.
like you could at least go someplace, you know, adjacent to that. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, vampires are like my favorite when it comes to like the common supernatural creatures. Even like for my own little fantasy stories I like to cook up myself, vampires tend to be where my mind and heart tend to go to. And at least from what I was getting from the trailer, when I talk about contained timed, it seemed like the trailer's kind of messing with time here in terms of how the events will actually play out. I feel like this is going to take place over the course of maybe like a day and a half. To me, it looks like you got events that happen during the day that lead to what happens at night at the barn, and then everything you're seeing when he's like rolling the cigarette are taking place a little bit after what happens at the barn at night. Even with the gun, like the sun's out, but it's not like fully out. It seems like he's still like working within the shadows when he's firing that gun. You know, so I really like it because it feels like one of those things of like, a town being taken over, kind of like a 30 Days of Night, when like it's a cultural impact as well, but because it's a period piece that makes vampire stories even scarier because there's less reporting happening going around.
Yeah, it's like it's
that.
easier
It's more isolated of a situation.
Yeah, it's easier to stalk and find your prey, and also easy to kind of contain because even though like in the small town everybody knows each other, people probably aware that something's up. Like, good luck getting that message to the outside world,
Yeah, because especially in this like southern rural part where you are already kind of isolated, I feel like it just lends itself to like a bit of like a From Dusk Till Dawn thing. I know I'm referencing a lot of different vampire stories right now, but that's kind of the cool impact of it because the story looks like it's very immediate and visceral. And for like some of the other joints, the only one I haven't seen is actually their first one they did together. I know you've seen it, Fruitvale Station, but with the the other movies they've done, Black Panther, Creed, those are more of like, there's action there, there's drama, it's more long spanning. This feels like it's such about the immediate visceral moments, the impact of like really packing a punch, like to watch them go into the horror genre, I feel like could bring something incredibly unique just in terms of like experiential, with it. Like maybe it might not be the most unique story, I don't know yet, but that's what I loved about this trailer. It was only about tone, atmosphere, culture, mood. I thought it was a very, very solid trailer that like packs a punch. And if it is the vampire one, they're not even like leaning into the vampire stuff.
Yeah. It's like you could easily kind of infer that, but it could easily be something else as well. And I mean, just that image of like the people surrounding the barn is enough to make you go, "What is happening?" And it makes my skin crawl.
And what I'm loving about what we're showing with Michael B. Jordan, while he's got like that badass moment with the Tommy gun at the end, and he's Michael B. Jordan, we know he's like a total badass. He is terrified throughout this trailer. And those are my favorite kind of protagonists. The kind of protagonist where they're kind of on edge. They're a little wired up. He's frightened. Like it literally starts off with him like scared, trying to pull his shit together. Like calm down with like tobacco, like roll this up.
Or maybe he's going through withdrawals from a very human problem and it's just a mislead.
Yeah, perhaps.
No, it certainly looks like he's like freaking out and just trying to use this one means of coming back to center.
But like even with thinking about his role in Creed with Ryan Coogler as Killmonger, people who are badass who charge in, I like how frightened he looked through so much of this. And in order for a movie like this to be scary, that's one of the cool horror rules that a lot of people tend to forget, especially if you're going to do like a horror action thing, is your main character has to have fear they are combating.
Or any character who we like, any actor especially, who we like get comfortable when they come on screen. It's good to see them sweat a little bit to establish the threat.
Yeah, and I get, with all the dancing and stuff, I'm also kind of getting an impression that there might be a little bit more like deviant sexual things that go down in this story than the trailer perhaps is actually leading on.
I could see that too. Some debauched like a rural like 1930s odd rave of sorts.
Yeah. Well, I like vampire woodsy stories like True Blood. Like I think that's Louisiana, and I've seen all of that. And watching, so seeing it take place in like the southern parts to me really does excite me. There's a lot about this trailer that I actually thought was really cool and really exciting. And I hope people like it. The fact they shot with IMAX cameras, that just gets me more jazzed because that man knows how to frame his films.
Oh, sure does. And too, with the mustache here, I'm just getting like if Courtney B. Vance was super buff vibes off of Michael B. Jordan, which I think is kind of fun. Like, Michael B. Jordan's a great actor, but also this seems like a bit of a chance for him to stretch out into a territory genre-wise we're not as used to seeing him in, and there are certainly moments that capitalize on his formidability physically, but also, I'm curious about the dimensions of this character, who this guy is, what kind of life he lives, because you see him suited up, looking official at times, but you also see him looking just like he's down home, sweating on a hot day. And so, Well,
and the fact that they go to church too, a lot of vampire stories do deal with that element of like hell, faith, factoring in, the cross crucifix is often a common trope when it comes to fighting vampires and such. So I wonder how much the Christianity part of this story will also factor in to it. But it's a shot with IMAX film. And this looks like film, doesn't it? It doesn't look like digital.
Does
it looks like film.
grain.
Yeah.
Like if that is actually true, and they did because also
Film
IMAX
cameras, yeah.
film probably costs it's double the
IMAX,
size, so it
that's
probably
what Nolan
costs
uses. Yeah.
double, triple the amount of money. So props for doing that,
Yeah.
because especially setting it in an era such as this, I think the film will go that much further. The actual look and stock of film will go that much further to selling the illusion, to selling the
1,000%.
fantasy of the movie.
Love the trailer, guys. Loved it. No complaints. No
Yes.
notes here. Can't wait to
Gonna
see this
watch
movie.
this.
All right. What did you guys think about it? Leave your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for being here with us. We'll talk with you guys soon, Rejects.